everybody. Are we all ready for the eclipse this weekend? So Sunday night, if you're in LA, it's going to be around 9:14 p.m. And if you're on the East Coast, New York time, it's going to be about 14 minutes past midnight. I think you can see it from the central US and west, so I hope you guys can see it. This one's going to be a doozy. Okay, so the full moon brings culminations, endings, and when we have an eclipse, that is like the full moon having drunk like 4 Red Bulls all at once. Get ready for things to be really, really ramped up and intense. Now, the full moon is in the sign of Scorpio. In astrology terms, that's called its fall. So when a planet, or in this case, a luminary, is in its fall, it doesn't perform well there. The moon does not like to be in Scorpio. It makes us a little bit suspicious, could be even paranoid. We're always like digging for answers, which could be good if something really is going on. Scorpio is a water sign. Water signs rule emotions, and Scorpio is a very intense water sign. It makes us also really intuitive. So before I launch into the negatives about the eclipse, which I'm sure you've like heard enough about already, but I want to talk about the positives, because I've been noticing through my psychic readings that a lot of clients are really needing to separate from situations that are unhealthy lately. Like lately, meaning the last 2 years. It's brought a lot of negative things to the surface where people can't like hide away from it anymore. And a lot of my clients hate their job. They don't like their spouse anymore. They're like ships passing in the night. And this full moon eclipse is about letting go. Okay, so this is a great time to be prepared to either let go of what you don't want, or to be let gone of, your relationship, your job. Eclipses bring changes. Nobody really loves change because it throws us off our balance and it makes us like, ugh! But change is really good, because if we don't have change, what's the alternative? Stagnation, right? So Scorpio is a little bit intense, like I was saying. But if you're suspicious of anything going on in your life that doesn't seem kosher or just doesn't seem above board, this is a good time to take stock of what's going on and really do some research. Now, with the sun in Taurus, now Taurus rules, among other things, money, our finances, right? So this is a great time to go through your bank account and look at your last statement and see, am I being double charged for anything? Do I have 2 Netflix accounts? Do I have all this monthly charge stuff going on that I'm not even aware of? What's this charge? Who's that? Where, go through everything with a fine-tooth comb and figure out where your energy drains are. Because energy drains aren't just, emotional or psychic or person to person. They can be financial drains as well. Now, the moon is in 25 degrees of Scorpio, and I looked up the Sabian symbol for that, and it is an X-ray photograph helps with the diagnosis. And that's perfect, because with Scorpio, we have that intuitive edge. We really want to dig and get to the bottom of things. Scorpio is ruled by Pluto, and Pluto is the god of the underworld. And he is the planet that just is the Band-Aid ripper-offer. There's no messing around. Like, he gets down to it and figures out what's going on, as painful as it may be. So we need to be prepared for that. Now, it's not just this weekend, because the effects of an eclipse, you can feel it like a month before to about 6 months after. So that would bring us to mid-October. We could be feeling this. So get ready. Another thing about eclipses, they bring non-negotiable endings. When there's an ending that happens around an eclipse, you can be 99.9% sure that it's going to stay ended. So, for instance, if you break up with someone, or they break up with you, and then you have a change of heart, I miss you, I want you back, it's not going to happen. I can almost guarantee you it will not happen. And vice versa, if you're the one who gets dumped, you probably should just move on. Don't look in the rearview mirror. This is a great time to focus on the windshield, look at the road ahead of you, and figure out your plan for the future, okay? You can't dwell on the past, especially with eclipses. I guarantee you it's going to be much, 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 much better if you just let that shit go. Okay, adding to the fun, we've got Saturn making a T-square, which is a 90-degree angle to both the sun and the moon. So Saturn is the planet of restrictions. He's like the mean high school principal or the cop that, you know, just gives you a ticket for throwing a gum wrapper on the ground by accident. He lets us get away with nothing. He's very restrictive. So this is also going to be adding to the fun. And Mercury is retrograde. So instead of hiding your head in the sand like an ostrich, which isn't that bad of an alternative this weekend, just, if anything, stay calm, okay? Because we're gonna be very ready to rock and roll, put your dukes up and like get into it. And this is not what you want to do, because this could lead to some endings that aren't going to be pretty. So the best way to stay calm is to keep your mind calm. So meditate, do things that make you calm, like get out in nature, work out hard at the gym, be with people that don't, you know, push your buttons and trigger you. Make an effort to know that this weekend's going to be tricky and to plan accordingly. And I think if you're forewarned, you're forearmed, and you're much more likely to avoid the nasties. So good luck. I'll be rooting for everybody. And just remember, change is inevitable, right? So if you can embrace it and just deal with it like an adult instead of fighting it and being angry that it's happening, it's much more smooth sailing, and you're going to get farther along in your spiritual path than if you were to fight it, okay? All right, so let's talk about what Scorpio rules. The 8th house is Scorpio's house. And that rules other people's money and financial support from other people. So that could change in the blink of an eye. So if you're totally relying on, say, a sugar daddy or a trust fund or your parents giving you money, that could really seriously change in the next 6 months. So I would say plan accordingly, just in case. It's very, very possible that if you're relying on someone else's support financially, it's going to change and or end. Power is another Scorpio realm. There's going to be power struggles. There could be shifts of power. Say you have a really nice boss. He might quit and you get a new boss who is a megalomaniac who expects you to be at the crack of dawn in with a smile on your face and work 1,000,000 hours a week for no thanks. You know, power. It's going to probably come up. Scorpio rules sex. This is a big one in people's lives for obvious reasons. It doesn't necessarily mean you're going to lose your sexual partner. It can mean that you're going to have some sort of breakthrough with sex. It could be a great breakthrough. It could also be, you know, a revelation about something going on with your partner's sexual life that you were previously unaware of. Scorpio rules the occult, which is nothing more than the hidden. It doesn't mean devil worship. So the occult, spiritual things. Don't forget, Pluto, you know, is the god of that house. And so he is all about digging up what's hidden. And this is actually a pretty good time to delve into if you're interested in learning how to develop your psychic abilities, or learning tarot, or anything to do with spirituality and the occult. Scorpio also rules taxes. So do not try to cheat the IRS. Make sure you pay your taxes, because for the next 6 months, this is very likely to come to the surface if you are doing any kind of shenanigans regarding paying your taxes. So enough said on that. And death, that is the last thing that I want to talk about. So we could definitely be losing loved ones in the next 6 months. And especially if you have planets from, like, say 20 to 28 or 29 degrees in the fixed signs. Yeah, so just, you know, beware that that can bring change regarding death. But I try to think of death as a transitionary phase just between losing the physical and moving on to the other side, where it is fantastic. Fantastic. It's a great place. This happened to me personally. I was affected already. My bird of 10 years, Peepers, he passed away, which was sad, but, you know, it's inevitable. He was a ripe old age. But yeah, just beware that, you know, it's very likely that you could experience that kind of transition in your life. Not you personally, hopefully. Hopefully none of us will die. You know, this is a great reminder to always tell people, I love you, you mean the world to me, you know, reach out, make the best of the time that we have with each other. Okay. I also thought I would show you guys some crystals that might help with this lunar eclipse. So the first one is aragonite. It's a gorgeous crystal. And I'm going to read you from the Book of Stones, which, by the way, if you don't have this and you're into crystals, it's a really great resource. Aragonite. These stones are powerful allies for healing and balancing of the emotional body. They can assist in maintaining a center of serenity in trying circumstances and discharging subconsciously held tensions relating to past emotional wounds. Meditation with these beautiful and uniquely shaped crystal clusters can open the inner eye to visionary experiences of past lives and forgotten events in this lifetime. So keep this one handy and meditate with it. Okay, another one is smoky quartz. This keeps us grounded, and this eclipse is going to be really trying, so it's helpful to have grounding stones. Any of the black stones, really, the darker jet, obsidian, Apache tears, smoky quartz, those are all grounding stones. So if you're starting to get a little too wigged out with like all the craziness going on, get a couple of those stones and keep them in your pocket or put them in a little bag in your purse and carry them around with you. And they actually, you can really feel the difference. Like, they do ground you. I know that sounds crazy, but it works. Okay. Another crystal that is really helpful during this trying time is rose quartz. It's a beautiful pink crystal and it's very inexpensive. And I'm going to read you about this one. Healing the heart of its wounds and reawakening its trust is one of rose quartz's gifts. Its soothing vibrations are a balm to the emotions, and they calm and cleanse the entire auric field. It engenders the release of tension and stress, the dissolution of anger and resentment, the dispelling of fear and suspicion, hello Scorpio, and the rebirth of hope and faith in the benevolence of the universe. Okay, so keep that one around too. So I hope this helped you guys a little get ready for the Scorpio lunar eclipse, and just remember, don't sweat it. Okay, it'll be fine. Just roll with the changes. Okay, and let that shit go. Let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. Okay, bye guys.